Hi guys, I wanted to make a quick video. Um, so, things haven't gotten better. There's people on this property that make it a hobby to be predators, um, to leave food outside my door. The very people who have sat and circled my building waiting for me to leave are, sitting not too far from the exits of the building by their garage or by the pool waiting when I'm going to leave, and they alert other people out in the field or in the surrounding area that I'm leaving, kind of like that video with the two dudes. um they let everyone know, and then people start driving to the store. There's only a few places I'll go because it's a small town. There's nothing out here. There's come and go, there's get and go. I don't go to Arby's anymore because when I applied for a job on July 11th, I got stalked by the very people I'm going to show you. They started with the stalking here. Um, and they do it on the weekend. They were doing it on the weekends. They were especially doing it on the weekends and having their children with them. They also have a copper orange like reddish Mustang that they were using as an opening, as a lead of the stalking. For instance, if I was to walk to the back and throw trash out and then walk to the store, the dudes that are real heavy with the beard, like the one I have a still picture of, that I just posted like with a couple weeks ago, and my landlord had been talking to him at the pool, and they both know about the surveillance in my apartment that was put in my apartment illegally. Okay, I'm not a criminal. I'm not in any trouble. I haven't broken any laws. So this is stuff that's being done by my neighbors, instructed by officials, local officials in this town. But anyways, so so the people who contaminated my food, I have a phone missing. I have a pair of headphones. Those little white little earbuds I was wearing on the past video, they're gone, and a phone is gone. Other stuff is gone, but like an ATM card, like back like a month ago, I had to go get a new one. And then when you go get a new one, they stalk you and tell people at the bank that you're defecating on the side of the bank. These people, that were recruited and paid and profiting to harass me and defame my character is like, it makes Stephen King look like Mr. Rogers, because you got people of all ages taking part in this, and they have their little children with them. it I, and I'm surrounded by evil. Okay, I'm surrounded by predators. So those of you who are keeping up with what's going on, I'm in imminent danger. And it's, but to move on with what I was saying, so I have two things to tell you. On the 11th of July, I left, and there was a redhead dude that was outside with his little earbuds on. He didn't live in the neighborhood, but when they know I'm walking out of my door, the stalkers will drop someone off so they can pass me and see what direction I'm going. And then other people will come up the street, drive by me, and then it just goes on and on. So that day I went to Arby's, and the manager, Lisa Jones, she's African American. She was really nice. And she was like, yeah, we can use you. And then my stalkers, people from this apartment complex that are friends with the people I'm going to show you right now, went over there. And what ended up being an interview that I thought I was going to be able to follow through on and have a job because she told me she could use me. After these people went there, she played games with me. She had me sit down and wait for hours, and then she told me to come back, go get my driver's license and my social. And then when I left on the way home, I got stalked like hell. And when I went back, that's when I'm talking with this blonde guy I told you that is a part of this and has a green car. He fixes cars and told me he knows what's going on. I went back and I got stalked. And there was well, I don't want to say that, but so the police knew what was going on. They were parked by, I think it's an elementary school off Beardsley. And so when I went back to the Arby's, I was still made to sit down and wait. And all these people that used to come and get and go, that were either problems or were kind of part of that whole stalking situation, came in there. And I was just waiting and waiting. And long story short, she said she was going to interview me. She ended up having some dude. I don't even know who he was. I called corporate. They didn't even know who he was. She had me talk to some Asian guy who popped into the scene. And I highly suspect it's one of the people associated with my stalkers. There were so many people stalking me that day. And so this guy was asking me questions. And then he goes, where else have you applied for work? And like an idiot, you know, when someone asks you a question and you're used to just being honest. I told him, Dollar Tree. I didn't get that job at Dollar Tree. I didn't get the job at Arby's. And my stalkers had looked like they had been, they complained to the staff. Because one of the guys that was there, he drives a van, like a creamish, whitish van. He has like a mustache and glasses. He came and sat right behind me. He has stalked me up and down in this town. And I tried to take a photo of him, but I couldn't. As I was going to the bathroom. But he went and told the staff I took a picture of him. Because these people who are paranoid that stalk me, that not only will they stalk me when I'm trying to get a job, but when I have a right to document, if I want, discreetly, they will go and tell the people. So I had the staff watching me to make sure I wasn't taking photos of anyone else. There was an African American girl there working. She was working the drive-thru. She was wearing a headset that day. So she had me talk to this Asian guy. I had been there for a number of hours. I got jerked around. I had to wait around. What it looked like I had to wait for all these stalkers to show up. And then there was the police officer parked up the street off Beardsley at an elementary school. And one of the dudes who was with the stalkers went over to where the cop was and then went back to Arby's and had been talking with the staff. So I didn't get that job. I don't know who that Asian guy was, but I called Arby's a couple of days later to see what the status was on my application. And I was hung up on by Lisa. And I called back and I said, hey, by the way, what was the name of that Asian guy that you had me talk to? Because I just called another Arby's and they don't know who he is. And she said, if you call back here, I'm calling the cops. So I have a feeling she had me talk to one of the stalkers. He didn't talk about really anything within the store. And she was sitting right next to me in the dining area. And the problem is when they stalk me like that and they can keep tabs on where I'm at, because I'm walking. They know when I'm going to come back to my apartment. That's when things get vandalized, stolen, things of that nature. And I'm not, as you can see, I'm not allowed to complain. But getting back to the stalking, I'm going to show you one individual who they've waited outside my apartment for months when they're not working, or they use the surveillance on their cars and they network with the people on this property and throughout town with, to keep track of when I leave my house, to stalk and harass me, then enter into my apartment illegally. These individuals, thanks to my old manager, Tom Hendricks, know my YouTube. Now, I have nothing to hide on my YouTube. Because I use my YouTube as a documentary. It's very vital to our country to see what's going on and be aware of the corruption and the people who are consistent lawbreakers. So these people now, which I don't pay them no mind, but this is just a continuous pattern of how deranged and sick and predatory like these individuals are, because now they're on my YouTube. And I've told them, when I've walked out of this apartment, I walked out at night to take the trash out with my phone in my hand and my flashlight on. I'm holding my phone down, or I'm holding it like this, and I'm taking out the trash. And they'll be sitting right across the little roadway behind, just right across the little road right there. And then the woman I'm about to show you, in a drunken state, was like, "Oh, you're recording us," or something like that. Like, she just started making a scene. And these people stalk me for months. They've had a hand in me not having a job in this town, a direct hand, by working and networking with people who are a part of it. It starts when I walk out my door. And they have cameras on their cars. I have told these people to stay away from me. And that's what I said to them that night. I go, stay away from me and stay out of my apartment. These people don't understand English. And the other person named, I'm not going to say her name, I'm just going to show you. I believe, well, she's stalked me. She lives on this property. She might have been with this girl I'm going to show you that night. But I've told neighbors to tell these people to stay away from me and to leave me alone. Countless times. I've written letters to Jeremy Behrens and Heidi Cope of Legacy Landing. If I showed you all my emails, you would just get tired of looking at them. That's why I literally had to plead verbally with Heidi Cope a month or two ago that I wanted to stop. And they act like they don't know what's going on. And they act like they have no idea that they had a direct hand in me not having a job in this town. I don't talk about everything that I know. I told my manager I wanted to stop. I even wrote a letter to the new management about some of the things that had gone on in the stalking. I've written to Legacy Landing, the old management, and I specifically gave the apartment number of the girl I'm going to show you. She lives right below me on the first floor. She's harassed me when I went to go to throw the trash out. She called me a cunt, and she sounded like she was drunk. And when they make a big scene like that, they alarm all the other stalkers in town, and they keep track of where I go. So I ended up going to the store, and some of my stalkers showed up. They happened to be the nice stalkers. One of them is named Sandy, and she drives a green van. And I happened to have bought 2 gallons of milk, 2 12-packs of Coke, and some orange juice, maybe some chocolate milk. Because I hate leaving, because this is what I have to deal with. And the police don't do nothing. The police support them. They know about it. I've said that a million times. We all know what's going on. So I'm put in harm's way, not just by the people who are doing this, by the fact that the police have allowed it. So I've told these people to stay away from me and leave me alone. I've told management this. And these people, knowing that my food has been compromised and my apartment has been entered illegally and things have been taken from my apartment. A number of things that they've been doing in my apartment when I'm not here. They knock on my door. They leave food outside. Food and drink. And they think it's funny. And I want to be left alone. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a direct pattern of the harassment. It's a stalking. And then you have a police officer, Steigel, knocking on my door with these people. I want to be left alone. I've even went to the police station and I begged, I pleaded with Officer William Lee. I wrote Chief Staples, and I said I wanted to stop. And the person I'm going to show you with the photo, who's now stalking me on my social media after leaving food on my door, after stalking me, calling me a cunt when I'm trying to take out the trash and go to the store, in a drunken state. I don't know. Then her husband, I'm like, oh, you're drunk. And her husband's like, oh, no, she's not drunk. She's pregnant. Oh, well, she must be pregnant and drunk because she was completely insane. I don't even know these people. And authorities are allowing these people to do whatever they want. So I'm going to show you. Oops. So I don't know if you can read that. Okay, the top one. Sorry. Okay, this one right here. The top one. Okay, she hangs out with the person I'm going to show you next. I got them knocking on my door. I got them stalking me. I got them waiting outside, pretending they're just sitting in the garage. And the day I got stalked by the two guys, these people were outside. But they know when I'm coming outside. Everybody knows when I open my door. But so this is what I got to put up with. These people approaching my door. These people are not sane. I'm constantly being exposed, and I'm vulnerable to these psychopaths, and there's a lot of them. I know you guys know that there's a lot of people involved with this. So the next person I'm going to show you is this. They both live in Norwalk, Iowa. And this one, their family owns an air conditioning company. And I believe she lives on the first floor directly below me. And the people who own the air conditioning, they like live down the hall on the first floor. They drive the white van. And they have that reddish, orangish, reddish Mustang outside. And during the time when I got stalked, I showed you guys that little map I made. And that black equinox approached me. That day and the days around that orangish, that orange, reddish, copperish Mustang, which is parked outside, which belongs to these people. They have like family and friends that live here. They're all a little group. These people. And it's parked outside next to the white van, that Mustang. As soon as I would walk out the door, they would jump in it and they would like go to a certain spot and other people would start following me too, whether it was McDonald's or Come and Go or Get and Go or Arby's or whatever. And, you know, it's not safe when I leave my house because these people have access to inside my house. And nobody in this town does anything about it. And I got them leaving food at my house. I got these people knocking on my door. And my manager, my new manager, is aware of this because she just wrote me a letter the other day saying she doesn't like what I said about her on my YouTube and that I lied. I go, no, I didn't lie. I have emails to back. I don't lie. It takes too much energy to lie. It's not even in my genetic makeup to lie unless I'm joking around with somebody. It's a waste of my time and energy. I don't even have to lie. If I make a mistake, I own up to it and like learn from it. There's nothing better than having an opportunity to learn and grow. So she said, oh, you lied. I go, no, I didn't lie. I have emails to back it up. Why would I lie about you going back on the form of payment that you agreed to take? And we had a back and forth all month. And I spent a whole day, if not longer, doing my application. And I had to redo another application. And so these people just love draining your energy and love wasting your time. And they completely victimize you. And my brother found out about this and he is not happy. My brother was in the military. My brother has been a weightlifter all his life. And my brother is just disgusted. So, guys, I just want to tell you that my new landlord is aware that these people are on here. They told her, they gave her my YouTube channel. I don't care. I have nothing to hide. I have to document the illegalities, the criminality I'm surrounded by. Because when you have a conversation with somebody and you're nice to them, like I was with Jeremy Barons last year after I moved in, and I said, hey, is there something going on? Is there something you need to talk to me about? I walked over to his office and sat down, and he completely denied everything. And then I have to call the cops, and Kostler comes out. And she tells me during the visit that my landlord and staff requested for this to be happening to me because they have organized stalking here and the police run it. It's no secret. Everybody in town like listens in. It's the sickest thing. But anyways, so that's when I requested the bad or the little video. Because I had a conversation with Kostler, Officer Kostler. And she told me, because I said, I want to know who requested this, Who approved for this to be going on, to be happening to me? And I would like the names of the people involved. And I also requested that in an email from Chief Staples. And I wanted to talk with him about the condition of the recording from the badge, the officer camera, from Kostler's camera that she was wearing. Why it was covered with graphics. Why was it altered? And why were parts of the audio taken out? I told my brother this. He's very upset. And now him and my rest of my family have to be monitoring me because I'm obviously not safe here. But, you know, I'm working with my manager because, you know, I don't want to leave a balance here, but I don't want them to deny my rights that I'm entitled to. If there's a resource who it will pay my rent for me this month, because I got a job. I can't get one here in town, but I got one. And, you know, I'd like to have the rent paid this month and next month and leave. And she knows that. But when they get on their high horse and say they're going to, you know, accept a form of payment and then they don't, you know, my brother's really upset. My family's pissed off. They're not happy. They're very disappointed. But I just wanted to show you guys these people leaving food at my door, knocking on my door. One of them lied and said I smoked. I don't smoke. I have a video of her smoking on the balcony. From the same day those two dudes stalked me, as soon as I left my house, walked out the door, the people that have the white van that own the air conditioning company or work at the air conditioning company or are related to people who own an air conditioning company, those people were outside. One of them started taping me on the phone. They tape me all the time. I have no privacy in my apartment. You guys, the people who know what's going on with me, you guys know. So you see what I have to live with, and these people are unpredictable, and they're not right in the head. And there's no talking to them because they have their mindset. Because everyone who has been doing this to me, who's had a hand in it, are profiting one way or another. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea. And so since I didn't get the job at Arby's, I wrote to corporate. I told them what happened, and I wanted to know who that man was who talked to me. They didn't tell me. No one ever told me the name of that man. But Lisa Jones, who's the manager at Arby's here in Norwalk on Sunset, surrendered her seniority, her position to some dude. And they went and reported everything I said to the people who had stalked me and to whatever officer that was up and down the street working that day. And I didn't get that job. And the video I made where there was a guy in the truck stalking me, I've showed you those photos, and I said I went to Dollar Tree, and the little old man asked me to go to McDonald's with him after I went to Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar Tree for my job, and some of my old stalkers were over there because they keep track of me everywhere I go. And so the manager of that store is named Nino. And I've passed all my background checks. I've passed all my drug tests. I passed any education classes, educational classes and stuff like that, that I've been given for jobs. But once they get in the ear of the person managing the place, I'm sure they probably also got access to my background check. But every time these managers say, I want to give you a background check, they're always sending me attachments. It just so happens my computer gets hacked. And there's managers from the Dollar Tree, Nino, who did this to me. Their manager over at Eden Crest, Alex, Eden Crest, right next door to my apartment, did this to me. And Shannon Giles, who's HR director, also did it to me. My apartment managers here do it. They get instructed to keep my devices hacked. Because when you're getting robbed, you're getting stalked, they're coming in your apartment, and they won't leave you alone 24/7. 24/7, they won't leave you alone. And as soon as you wake up and make some noise, there's someone in my building who knows, and they alert everybody. They'll go out. I'm not going to say how they do it, but it's very systematic. And I'm just saying, these people make domestic terrorists look like Olympic ice skaters. Again, you got old people doing this. You got people that are minors doing this. You got people of all age groups. And I've had a number of people that live in this complex that feel bad about it. And I've already pointed those people out. So I just want to make it clear that my word doesn't matter to authorities. And this was day one when I moved in. I didn't know nobody. And this activity started. And they just want to keep it from you, hide it, sweep it under the rug, and keep doing it. So, I take a risk when I leave the house. And they think it's the greatest thing when I leave the house. Because I'm fair game. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that. And that's it. I don't want to make this video too long. Alright guys, I'm going to start a GoFundMe. I'm going to make a new video on that. I'm going to post the link here. Please support me. And I appreciate everybody that is behind me and knows the truth. I appreciate that. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next video. Look out for my GoFund link. Be good to each other. Bye everyone.